Hi, welcome to Quick Plot Recaps. In a world where each individual performs a single function, Gene, a defective emoji, seeks to be accepted despite his ability to reproduce all facial expressions. Today we will recap the story of the 2017 movie, The Emoji Movie. Alex is a high school kid, and like every teenager, his whole life revolves around his cell phone. With the arrival of the information age and the busy lifestyle increasing more and more, the need has arisen for pictures that express emotions without users having to type entire words. This is precisely what emojis are for. Some say they are the most important invention in the history of communication, since they came to meet this demand. All emojis live in a large city called Textopolis, and each emoji must perform its function correctly according to the purpose for which it was created. The crying emoji always has to cry even if he wins the lottery. The laughing face always has to smile even if he is dying of pain. And the mech emoji always has to look like he doesn't care about anything, no matter what. But for Gene, this function is not as easy as it seems. Unlike all the other emojis, Gene can change his facial expression depending on his emotions. However, this versatility does not sit well with the residents of Textopolis. The young emoji even tries to keep an indifferent expression, but he cannot help the happy faces, especially today, which will be his very first day working on the cell phone. Unlike Gene, his parents are professionals at performing their job, which makes his life even more difficult. When the boy arrives at the company for his first day of work, his father Mel informs him that he will not be able to work on the cell phone because he is not ready yet. Gene tries to convince his father to give him a chance, for this is the greatest dream of any emoji's life. Mel is afraid that when Gene is sent, he will make the wrong face, but his wife Mary manages to convince him to give their son a chance. Smiler, the system supervisor, receives the new emojis and introduces herself as the original happy face emoji. Each one of them will have their own cube on the emoji bar, and when any one of them is chosen by Alex, the cube will light up. The scanner will then read the emoji, and the image will be sent directly to Alex's text box. The most popular emojis, which are usually the most chosen, are left in the favorites section. As soon as Alex stops using his cell phone, they are all dismissed to enjoy the party. High Five tries to regain his spot in the VIP area, but Alex has decided to trade him for a closed fist, so he is no longer a favorite. While trying to get into the popular section, High Five meets Gene and asks for his help to bypass the security guard. However, Smiler shows up and puts an end to the whole scheme. Minutes later, Alex picks up the cell phone again, and for the very first time, Gene takes his place in the cube. During class, the boy is anxious to answer a message from Addie, the prettiest girl in the class. His friend advises him not to show too much interest in the conversation so he will not scare the girl, so Alex decides to send her a meh emoji. However, upon being scanned, Gene starts freaking out and makes several faces at once. As a result, Addie receives an emoji totally unlike any she has ever seen and decides to ignore the message entirely. Desperate, Gene tries to escape and jumps into the scanner, causing a major disaster. The machine goes totally out of control and invades the cubes, destroying the emoji's workplace. Furious, Smiler walks toward the defective emoji and says she will hold a meeting with the council to decide what they will do with him. Disappointed with his performance, Gene sits alone on the terrace while he thinks of a way to fix the damage he has caused. Minutes later, his parents come after him and ask the young man to accompany them back home. Mary says that one day everyone will forget what happened and Gene will have another chance. However, until then, it is better that he is safely locked up in the apartment. Upon hearing this, Gene realizes that his parents are ashamed of him and decides to go and make things right. The young man intends to speak directly to the council members, but soon discovers that the decision about what to do with him has already been made. With a creepy smile on her face, Smiler informs him that he will be handed over to the antivirus robots to be deleted. In an attempt to escape the impending elimination, Gene runs into the cube room where he meets High Five. Upon seeing the antivirus robots, High Five believes he will be punished for sneaking into the VIP wing and runs away together with Gene. In order to hide from the guards, he goes through a secret entrance that leads to the Losers Club, where the emojis that no one uses are kept. While sanding High Five's nails, Gene reveals that the robots were after him and wanted to delete him for being defective. In that instant, High Five states that there is a way to be fixed, but in order to do so, Gene would need to find a hacker to reprogram him. The problem is that the hackers live only in the hacking app, and to find one, Gene will need to leave Textopolis. To reassure his new friend, High Five tells the story of a princess who got out of the cell phone and now lives in the cloud. According to him, the hacker who helped the princess escape can reprogram Gene. Therefore, the young man asks for the help of High Five to find this hacker. Hoping to be reprogrammed and returned to the favorites section, High Five accepts the invitation. But to do so, they need to get out of the city undetected by the robots. With the help of their disguises, the duo manages to go unnoticed as they cross the border. They come across Alex's background screen where all the applications are. Each app has its own world, and the first to be visited is WeChat, a Chinese app where the bubble pups reside. Next, Jean breaks into Facebook and meets Alex's hundreds of virtual friends. Meanwhile, in Textopolis, Jean's parents are looking for him and intend to find him before the antivirus robots do. Mel believes that the boy has fled the city, and the couple decides to go look for him in the background screen. However, one of the robots manages to detect them, and Smiler orders the antiviruses to follow them. Upon arriving at the pirate application disguised as a dictionary, High Five must enter a password to log in. Amidst the darkest creatures of the internet, they plan to find the hacker. The duo must escape a bizarre virus and get rid of spam until they reach the counter where they find the Trojan horse. After being questioned about the whereabouts of the hacker Jailbreak, the creature points to a girl sitting in the corner of the bar, and High Five goes to chat with her. The young woman ignores them and claims to be busy right up until the moment when the robots invade the place. Seeing Jean's abilities, she decides to help them find a way out. While the antiviruses go about deleting customers from the bar, just as Jean was about to be eliminated, Jailbreak pushes him into a tunnel and the trio manages to get out of there unharmed. They fall into the world of Candy Crush and Jean gets stuck in the game. To rescue him, his friends need to combine the candies without allowing the yellow bullets to get close to the emoji, otherwise he can be blown up. During the school break, Alex approaches Addie and intends to ask her to be his date to the fall dance. However, before the boy can make an invitation, his cell phone starts making strange noises as the Candy Crush game has been activated and the girl leaves with her friends. Furious that he is being sabotaged by his own smartphone, Alex decides to call technical support and makes an appointment to reset his device, erasing the entire universe inside. After being almost blown up several times during the game, Jean finally reaches the last row, but his spherical shape prevents him from getting out. His last option is to be combined with the yellow bullets and hope that the game thinks he is a special bullet. The plan works, and Jean is transported into a glass jar through which he manages to escape. As they walk through that world, High Five takes the opportunity to eat some candy, and Jailbreak informs them that she is willing to help Jean. But for that, they need to go to the cloud where they will find the source code to reprogram him. The problem is that to get in there, they have to get through a nasty firewall that uses facial identification to make sure that each user has only one chance to get the password right. Jailbreak already tried to get past it, but she got the password wrong once and was blocked forever. Since Jean is an emoji that can make several faces, he may be able to make several attempts without being banned. While keeping an eye on everything that happens on Alex's cell phone, the Textopolis security guards receive a notification that has just gone into the calendar, and everyone panics upon discovering that the boy has a scheduled visit to the service center at 4 p.m. Lost in the background of the cell phone, Jean's parents log into all the apps looking for their runaway son. When they get to YouTube, Mel realizes that they are being followed by antivirus robots, and Mary has the bright idea of posting videos of cute kittens to distract the robots while they slip away. After leaving the app, the couple splits up to look for Jean, having no idea that by this time the young emoji is already on his way to the firewall. Along the way, Jailbreak reveals that her biggest dream is to reach the cloud. The hacker can no longer stand living in that world full of rules and with the constant risk of being deleted at any moment. Her real intention in deciding to help Jean is to achieve her own freedom. After crossing a shortcut, the trio arrives at a dance app and needs to reach the Dropbox without triggering the music. However, the plan goes up in smoke when High Five puts his finger on the red button and activates Just Dance. At that moment, loud music starts playing, attracting the antivirus bots to the application. The ground then crumbles and Akiko appears. She tells her guests that they need to follow her steps to advance, and that if they make a mistake, the player will receive an X. With 3 X's, they will be eliminated from the game. Upon hearing this, Jailbreak despairs and reveals that she cannot dance. In the very first seconds of the song, the hacker gets her first red X, but still struggles to keep up with the melody. Quickly, High Five earns 3 stars and begins to advance in the game. After almost falling off her platform, Jailbreak gets her second X and Jean decides to go back to help her. They begin to dance as a duo and move forward together. At this point, the girl gets carried away and ends up losing her disguise. Then Jean discovers that the hacker is actually the emoji princess who escaped from Textopolis and whom everyone believed had made it to the cloud. At that instant, the antivirus robots appear and start dancing to advance in the game and reach their prisoners. Alex is in class when the Just Dance music starts playing on his cell phone. Desperate, the boy deletes the application and Akiko's world begins to crumble. Jean and Jailbreak make it to the Dropbox in time, but High Five ends up being sent to the dump after being captured by one of the robots. To prevent his friend from being deleted for good, Gene decides to go to the dump to rescue him. But Jailbreak tries to convince him to follow her goal since Dropbox is right there, and the dump is on the other side of the phone. Seeing that Gene is determined to rescue High Five, Jailbreak decides to lend a hand and informs him that she knows of a shortcut. In Textopolis, Smiler is furious because she cannot get in touch with her robots which were sent to the dump along with Just Dance. There are only 4 hours left before Alex goes to the service center, so they need to fix everything before the technician finds a problem with the cell phone and decides to delete everything. As a last measure, Smiler decides to send new robots after Gene, but this time they are equipped with an illegal upgrade that turns them into bloodthirsty monsters. In the dumpster, High Five is approached by Spam, and a troll reveals that by the end of the day the dump will be emptied and they will all be gone forever. Jailbreak and Gene make it to Spotify and navigate the music streams to quickly get to the dump. During the trip, Jailbreak asks why Gene wants to be reprogrammed instead of just accepting his peculiarities. The girl says that Gene is the most special emoji she has ever met and claims to love him just the way he is. Meanwhile, High Five tries to distract himself while waiting for the moment to be deleted. He remembers the time when he was one of Alex's favorite emojis and sees his picture in a text message that the boy wrote to Addie but which was never sent. Suddenly, the dumpster doors open and Gene appears hanging by a rope. The emoji holds up one of his friend's fingers and Jailbreak pulls them back up. After thanking his friends for saving him, High Five decides to help the trolls who were also stuck in the dumpster and throws the rope to them. However, the base that held the rope on the surface ends up falling in and the monsters cannot escape. Mary is still looking everywhere for her son and logs onto Instagram to check if the young man is there. The emoji then finds hundreds of photos of Alex and enters the one the boy took with his parents in Paris, sitting in a fountain. Mary laments what happened to Gene and blames herself for allowing him to go to work on the cell phone, even though her husband did not think the young man was ready. At this point, Mel appears and states that none of this is her fault. The emoji reveals that Gene inherited the same defect from his father, and that is why the robots want to delete him. Mel also has other facial expressions, but over time he has managed to imprison them. Now that he has revealed the truth, the couple is closer than ever, and Mel declares his love for his wife. Mary tries to show some reaction, but she cannot help her frown. Despite this, the emoji says that she loves him too, and they go off once again in search of Gene. While walking back to the Dropbox, the trio is surprised by the arrival of the upgraded robot, and they need to spread out to confuse the creature. During their escape, each of them is still being chased by a part of the robot. In this way, the team manages to tie a knot in the monster and run for the Dropbox. The antivirus cannot get into that application, so they are finally safe. The trio then embarks on a journey that takes them directly to the firewall. Now it is Gene's turn to step up. The emoji positions himself in the password field and pronounces the numbers that Jailbreak passes to him. With each mistake, the young man is incinerated and must change facial expressions to make a new attempt. After a few unsuccessful attempts, Jailbreak runs out of options. She has already tried to use everything important in Alex's life but still cannot get the password right. So Gene says that if he had to come up with a password, he would use the name of the girl he likes. The problem is that Jailbreak had already searched the entire cell phone and could not find any girl's name. Upon hearing this, High Five remembers the text message he saw in the trash can but cannot remember the name that was written in it. After accessing the files, Jailbreak finds the message and discovers the girl's name. Gene then makes one last attempt, and after saying Addie's name, access to the cloud is finally released. Now that she has managed to get into the cloud, Jailbreak needs to fulfill her end of the deal and starts working on reprogramming Gene to make him a meh emoji once and for all. While the girl downloads the source code, Gene finds out that he does not want to go back to Textopolis without her and decides to declare his feelings. He says that Jailbreak is the coolest and most interesting emoji he has ever met, and that after everything that has happened, he has given up on changing his ways and would like to stay in the cloud with her forever. However, the hacker says that she has her own plans and claims that she is not a little princess waiting for a Prince Charming. Upon hearing this, Gene is heartbroken and without any effort becomes a real meh as he walks toward the exit. The cloud doors open and Gene is taken away by an antivirus robot. Desperate, High Five runs to tell the hacker what has happened and asks for her help to save him. The girl then shrugs off her disguise and uses all her princess charm to attract a little bird with her whistling. Luckily, the Twitter icon is passing by and decides to give them a ride. Meanwhile, in Textopolis, Gene is greeted by Smiler, who intends to delete him right in front of all the other emojis. However, before the young man is eliminated, his parents show up and Mel reveals that he has the same flaw as their son. Contrary to his expectations, Smiler orders the robots to delete him as well, and Mary is arrested by the guards. At this point, the other emojis rebel at the injustice, and the now crazed Smiler threatens them all. Just as the antivirus robot was about to delete father and son, High Five and Jailbreak show up. The hacker manages to reach the button to deactivate the creature but is knocked out before she can press it. High Five then takes advantage of the fact that the robot is behind the girl and presses the red button to turn it off, causing Smiler to end up buried under her own loyal antivirus. This could have been a happy ending if it were not for the fact that time has run out and Alex is already resetting his cell phone. The entire universe inside is about to be erased, and the emojis, as well as all those that live in the other apps, will be deleted forever. Addie shows up at the same store where Alex is sitting, complaining to a friend that he cannot express his feelings for her. Upon hearing this, Gene has an idea. He believes that if he can help the boy share his feelings, he can give up resetting his phone. Jailbreak claims she can hack the phone and send a message, but time is running out, so Gene will only get one chance. Knowing that he is the only hope for his friends and family, he enters the cube. With his great range of expressions, the emoji must use his quirkiness to convey everything Alex feels for Addie in a single message. Jailbreak then triggers the scanner and Gene does his best work yet. Alex is surprised to see that unusual emoji and decides to send it to Addie since the icon conveys everything he feels for the girl. When Addie sees the message, she smiles and goes to talk to Alex. They arrange to go to the fall dance together and the boy is overjoyed. All the data on his cell phone was about to disappear forever, but Alex gives up resetting it and manages to recover everything at the last second. In that instant, the entire universe that lived inside the smartphone rises from the ashes, and Gene is cheered by his fellow emojis. For thanks to his quirks, everyone has been saved. After living a whole life trying to fit into that society, Gene finally accepts the fact that he is different and even gets a surprise party to celebrate with his new friends. From that day on, he becomes Alex's favorite emoji and earns his long-dreamed-of place in the cube. So what did you think of this movie? Leave it in the comments below, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you next time.